Wednesday, January 18th, 2017. It's the carbon neutral edition.
100% carbon neutral.
Of the Real K&C. Ken Laird.
Chris Curtis.
You got to work in the drop from the office.
We're going completely carbon neutral!
If nothing else today, we got that done.
I was watching the State of the City last night, enjoying our wonderful Mayor Walsh.
Cutting edge traffic light technology.
Immediately grabbed the link, sent it to you from the office.
Chris, first of all, put your pants on.
And we got that in the open. It was great.
I got to say, coming in today, I knew we had a potentially volatile show based on the width and breadth.
It's a huge problem.
Of what we had. There was so much politically going on last night, from the mayor's speech, Chelsea Manning, Obama releasing prisoners left and right from Gitmo, Tucker Carlson undressing this guy that Jerry would love. Plus, of course, it's AFC Championship game week.
It's football!
I had no idea where they were going to go, and it turns out they had no idea where they were going to go when the lights went on.
Today is a smorgasbord.
Yes, it's a buffet.
Yeah, it was crazy. At around 7:30 or so, I saw this Colin Cowherd tweet saying that it's a sort of a make-or-break game for Brady, which never had even dawned on me.
If Brady throws up a clunker.
And as Jerry mentioned on the show, I think he's about ready to set himself on fire to get ratings. They're doing anything on Fox Sports 1.
By the way, if you're missing a protester in D.C. last night set himself on fire.
Takes guts.
It's a strong statement.
It doesn't happen in these United States too often.
A lot of people did that during Salk here.
So I sort of added that to the show sheets, and then I was like, oh, we'll probably start there if we get into sports.
We're going to get to sports.
We had sound that was on the cutting room floor. We had Shaughnessy across the street on Brand X.
I thought the Globe did a good job
disagreeing with Kirk's take about the race and the Globe story with David Price.
Yeah, we never touched that today.
Never touched that. Anyway, it's one of those shows where you come in, you have almost too much going on.
Like the lead sports story in the trending was Goodell chooses not to come to New England.
What is Goodell afraid of? What does he think's going to happen?
I think it's a Kraft thing. Kraft said, we don't want you here.
That's not their position.
Why not?
Place. You don't
They're
tell
his
the
boss.
commissioner where he can go. They can't stop him.
Of course they could.
They cannot. What are
Sure
they
they
gonna,
could.
security going to
No, but
stop him
but
at the
they
gate?
say
the commissioner. It's a bad look for him.
I agree with that. I agree.
He looks soft.
And we just dipped a toe into the water, basically, and moved on.
Yeah, I would say we probably had about a dozen to 24 cuts from analysts nationally and locally on Goodell not coming to Foxborough, and we played one, which was the Brewski cut.
I would recommend him not going either.
Which I played a way too long version of on the fly. I felt so off today. My drops, no drop hit home. It was like...
That was a disaster.
Today's show, it was a good show. It was just all over the place. I mean, the 8 o'clock hour is obviously going to be another Reimer moment. You mentioned this, Ken. Whenever he's here, there's always something you take away from it. Well, today, holy shit.
I could see you at that holiday party with a sweater, walking around. You and Alex, too, walking together.
Well, no more Alex, too, unfortunately.
What?
Yeah, he's out of the scene.
No longer with us?
No longer.
What is wrong with you today?
We have the announcing of the breakup and then followed closely by the ex calling in.
Right. After the first 2 hours, which were very, very, very low on the Reimer memorability scale.
A subdued Reimer so far?
Yes, very.
Right.
Corporate Reimer.
Corporate Reimer. Corporate Reimer.
We want me to bash.
I don't remember anything Alex said in the first 2 hours. He basically agreed with both Jerry and Kirk on everything.
The first 2 hours were memorable because he was corporate Reimer for the first time.
That's true.
I'm a little worried. We're a little worried that you've signed your deal, and there's a chance now that Rob Bradford, like only he can, will suck the life out of you.
Right.
I think what set them over the line was we got into the Antonio Brown video, which, as Alex pointed out, accurately so, this is day 3 of Facebook Live Gate. It's run its course, but, Tomlin talked about it, so it kept going on the news cycle. But Reimer's quote was, "It's not the worst thing."
It's not the worst thing that ever happened.
That was the equivalent of Mutt remaining Switzerland.
I am Switzerland when it comes to Leroy Street.
That is a no-no with Jerry Callahan. You do not say it's not the worst thing or try and, give a bullshit non-answer.
Darren Sharper?
The Goodell. I put it between Sharper and Hernandez.
I mean, it's a guy. He was.
If they're talking about it, they think it's important. Once we got into the 8 o'clock hour and Alex gave us the news that rightfully got the breaking news sound effect.
Why?
You guys,
whoa. Breaking news.
This is breaking news. Breaking news with Kirk and Callahan on Sports Radio WEEI.
Stephen Barrington, hold on. I know you hate Reimer, but explain what happened.
It was a messy breakup a couple weeks ago.
It really sort of set things off into a totally different direction that was great radio, compelling, entertaining, and the ex-boyfriend calling in was just the cherry on top.
Yeah, and this actually shed some light on last week's Reimer appearance. He was in Tuesday last week after the national championship game We all knew he hadn't watched the game based on his commentary on it. Turns out Monday was D-Day for him, the big breakup.
I mean, that's the reason why I didn't watch the national championship.
I didn't think of
the
that.
previous Monday.
That was
Alex
the night
T's a
it all
big
went
Alabama
down.
guy.
Yes.
Right.
Okay,
Went
now we
down?
understand.
He got assaulted and kicked out of his own
Oh,
apartment.
that's right. He said it was on in the background.
Right.
Little do we know that in the forefront was two gay guys going at it.
Yeah, domestic violence. Cheating and scandal. And
I could channeled my inner Anthony Weiner.
Was there a third penis involved?
Virtually.
So either Reimer went to West Hollywood and didn't do the shots out of the ass
Take off your shirt, Jerry, right there.
and just was loyal to Alex number 2, which would be a massive wasted opportunity.
Ooh.
Or he's lying again.
That's a lie.
Because he said he didn't hook up with anybody out there.
Yeah, that's true. Something's fishy about the West Hollywood story now that you bring that up.
So I think he definitely hooked up with people, definitely did shots out of the ass.
Pour it down your spine, and if you pull down your pants a little bit.
There's no way he would stop there if he's already sexting other guys on his phone. Why would he be loyal to Alex number 2 when he's all the way 3,000 miles away in West Hollywood?
Man, who knew we had not one but two Sean Salisbury's on the show? We had a new bronze dick pic.
I'll tell you, though, it's bronzed if you ever got it. You guys want me to make you a copy of it? Maybe I should cast it and sell it at sex stores.
You prefer the real Sean Salisbury.
I prefer the real one. I think he was probably our finest member on the couch.
I couldn't have run my way out of a hula hoop.
Every week you start writing on our calendar, Sean, and I have to erase it. No, he's not coming in again.
But Reimer naturally wants to be like Salisbury, so this probably inspired him. You know, man.
So do you think he was faithful in West Hollywood, or do you think he
no.
lied? So
Not after what we heard today.
yeah,
Jesus.
absolutely.
What do you mean? Porn? What do you
channeled
mean?
my inner Anthony Weiner. There was some sexting going on.
Alex too found out about this.
Yes. I'm a real dirtbag.
So you're the one?
I'm the one.
Who are you doing this with?
People who I've come in contact with over the last several months.
I like Alex, but I think the evidence is on the table. Now, he apologized to Alex number 2. You could tell this was real emotion, right?
Oh, my God.
Was it a teary fight between you two?
It was very teary.
Did you tell him you love him? I made a mistake. I want to be with you, baby.
Give me another
that kind of
chance,
thing?
baby.
Really?
And he said
Honest
no?
mistake,
And he said, get the hell out of here.
Get the hell out of here.
Came clean with a confession. An
Absolutely.
on-air confession.
Well, to a point.
To a point.
He did not tell the whole story.
No. That sparked, before Alex number 2 called in, an hour of basically Reimer feedback. It was like an Alex Reimer summit. Does he belong on the show? Does he not belong on the show? We had 2 callers dropping swears that needed to be dumped.
What he's sucking, what he's not sucking.
I'm sure that's...
I would call them homophobes.
There were a lot of angry
the anger was up.
Angry men calling that I spoke to this morning, swearing at me for allowing him on the show. Left, right, you name it. They
Unfortunate
were
language.
Pissed.
Fooling around on the course, bad language, smoking grass.
Yes.
I mean, pissed.
Even gay cop Rich from Hartford is not a big Ream fan. You can just tell. He's a little, maybe threatened to Kirk's his guy.
Gay cop Rich needs to take a timeout. He's not been funny. Serious gay cop Rich is boring.
I don't like serious Rich at all.
He's been overshadowed now.
Well, he used to call in and flirt with Kirk, and it was funny, good radio. Now he calls in like he's Dr. Phil talking to Alex.
Sometimes when you whine about things,
it's not entertaining.
Also, how's your ego holding up today after Trenny rejected you yesterday, and Reimer was even a harsher rejection today?
Would you want to date Curtis? He's single?
No.
Right. Why not?
Not my type.
What do you mean? He's skinny?
very
Nobody
likes
bald.
me. He's
Too
very
bald.
submissive.
He's got money,
Alex.
family
Very.
money.
He'll put a leash on.
He will.
Yeah, but see, I like to play that role, though.
You know, I thought that all I needed to do was lose this weight. It was like I was 500 pounds and, disgusting. He was disgusted by the question.
Right. Uncalled for.
And I was told when I was fat by Buck that I would be loved at Bear Week down at P-Town.
Want to go to Bear Week, Jerry,
the
in
joke's
P-Town?
not working. I'm not a bear.
Why you get
Could
so
you
upset
take
about that
Curtis?
joke, Jerry?
Take Curtis with
You're
you.
not Bear anymore.
So now I've lost the weight and the gays hate me.
You've lost your niche in the market.
It's very frustrating.
It's frustrating.
Then we got back into some Brady Rogers talk. Jerry dropped another fascinating, which was good.
It was fascinating.
49ers job.
49ers job, and he should, because what he's done there is just fascinating. Is that the right word?
It really is.
Fascinating to watch.
We got into pajama talk.
We finally got into the Charlotte Wilder story. Did that set the record? It had to.
Oh.
Most teases.
We will get to that Charlotte Wilder, Tom Brady story, I promise. We have to get to this Charlotte Wilder story, I guess.
we should. It's
Get
only
back.
fair.
We've teased it for a while. 779-7937. I have not teased this yet. I'm going to tease it now. Charlotte Wilder wrote a story. I don't know if you've seen this or not. And when we get back, I promise, we are going to talk about the story of the year, pajamas. We've only teased it 5 different times.
Can't wait.
When we get back, we will not talk about it, but we'll tease it again in about 15 minutes.
Jerry loved the Charlotte Wilder piece. You could tell. He was a big fan of this new one, the edgy Charlotte Wilder from Bleacher Report.
I think he said it was snarky.
Edgy and snarky.
It is witty. It is edgy. It is
also,
snarky.
was Jerry overcompensating? Did he feel a little bit of self-guilt for really taking the snowflake to the woodshed? Behind the woodshed.
Was Jerry being somewhat reverse sexist today by overcompensating and praising a story that wasn't as good as he was claiming?
If this were written by Mike Petralia.
Oh, yeah, well, Trags is great.
Guys, I do think you got to lighten up. I mean, geez.
Would Jerry have given it any shred of notice today?
No, this was him pointing out that Charlotte could do things that were somewhat informative, somewhat edgy, and a good, entertaining read. I didn't think it was quite as compelling as Jerry did.
I liked it. I liked it.
I don't think it compensates at all or makes up for
Susan
the
Pease
abomination that was the Susan Pease SB Nation story.
Well, let's not forget, she interviewed somebody in Maine that never made that story. So
and we still haven't gotten to that sound. It's so frustrating. Even today, we had it ready, and Kirk didn't want to come out with it, so we only played the beginning of that cut.
Yeah, so the only good thing that we had ready today, okay? At 6:30, Kirk said come back with some Jimmy G sound.
Oh, yeah.
A highlight. And I'm combing through Jimmy G sound, and all the highlights from the Miami game where he was dynamite before he got hurt. There's 3 touchdowns, and Greg Gumbel doesn't mention his fucking name once.
Never mentions his name.
So I'm listening to this stuff, and I can come back with a dumb touchdown call, and I just decided to scrap it. So at the last minute, I was like, I got nothing, Kirk. And so we just came back with music. But then, okay, after headlines, they teased, of course, Charlotte Wilder. We're going to get to it. We had Tears in Heaven queued up. Ready to go. We have the cut that we have never not played yet.
The money cut from the Charlotte Wilder interview on the Morning Roast.
The Morning Drive.
And as I'm about to hit play on the Clapton song, Kirk says, we're not doing Wilder here. We're going to push that back.
We can't.
It was either going to be dead air or I'm going to play Clapton.
Back with more Kirk and Callahan on Sports Radio WEEI.
We have Tears in Heaven coming out.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was just sort of a microcosm of the day.
And I only played half the sound. We never got to the main sound.
Right.
So here it is in all its glory. It will never see the actual airwaves, so it's going to see our podcast. Here is the Money Charlotte Wilder cut, referencing a person in Maine she interviewed that never made her story.
I talked to, there's one woman in Maine, which I didn't end up using because I wanted to focus it on Massachusetts, who said that she voted for Trump, but she hated that the Patriots connected themselves to Trump because she understood how scared some people were by him.
So there it is. A woman Trump supporter in Maine is pissed at the Patriots.
Related to Susan Pease or no?
Great uncle. No, a woman up in Maine who is a diehard Patriots fan, voted for Trump, but is pissed that the Patriots supported Trump. Mm-hmm. You tell me how that makes any sense.
That don't make no sense.
I don't know. My head is still spinning. The start of the show today, when we opened it up to the buffet, he kind of threw it over to Jerry. So if you throw it over to Jerry, he's going to go where he's most passionate from the night before. So we went into Walsh, Obama, and Betsy DeVos, and you and I were just scrambling. The interns were running wild. We were trying to grab audio that we had never expected to come out of the show with.
Yeah, that was crazy. So we had Betsy DeVos on the gun control issue, which you ended up playing on the fly from the computer in the studio as we were rolling it in. We had
the grizzly bear sound.
The grizzly bear.
A gun in the school to protect from potential grizzlies.
It was just all over the map. And then randomly later on, we're trying to get the sound of the Orlando cop killer.
Yeah, Markeith.
It's what to expect on shows where you think you sort of have things covered. But I do think the 8 o'clock hour definitely, with Alex's announcement, into the unprecedented scorned gay boyfriend calling in to confront Alex Reimer, which was very compelling radio.
How confident were you that it was the real Alex number 2 on the line?
If I had to bet, I would have said it was him. I'd say 75% confident that it was him. He wasn't trying to do a one-liner. I talked to him twice before putting him down. He knew where Alex lived. He knew where Alex was from. Mm-hmm. And he sounded nervous. So if he's pulling a prank, it didn't strike me as someone who would be, I don't know. I bought it. I thought it was him.
Alex said he was 50-50. When they teased it, we tweeted it out. Then it happened. It was the real confrontation. And, man, one of the most uncomfortable moments in Kirk and Callahan history.
Alex Reimer looks a little nervous.
During the break, he said, I'm not
Alex number 2 is on the line right now. Hey, Alex.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Is this Alex number 2, Alex?
It is.
Ooh,
oh, jeez. Alex number 1 is a little nervous right now, Alex number 2, so.
Yeah, he should be.
What? Hi, Alex.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
So you're still mad?
So I just saw on Twitter that you guys are talking about it. I haven't been listening, but figured he's been lying, so I just wanted to, set the record straight a little bit.
I was pretty upfront. I said
all the blame.
I said I was a dirtbag, and I lied, and I deserved it.
And cheated.
Yes.
Well, he didn't say cheated. He just said virtual
he
cheated.
Cheated
Virtual.
on me, and he lied about it for months, and it wasn't until after I physically dragged him out of my house that a couple days later he sent this whole confession. And
Whoa, hold on, Alex. You physically dragged him? We don't condone that here.
He just kept trying to talk to me, and I just, dragged him out because I didn't want to see him.
Maury Povich. What, I mean, so you don't ever want to talk to him again? It's over?
Yeah, he's not someone I could trust anymore.
That must
but
hurt.
He feels awful.
Alex
the
number
pain,
2.
we could see it in his eyes.
He does feel terrible, I got to say. Maybe he's, do you think this is...
He should. That's all it comes down to. I realize that he has his own issues, but he had no business, dragging me into it. So
you're right. I didn't. It was immature.
You didn't say you cheated. You said you sent pictures. That's not really. You said you did the whole Anthony Weiner thing.
Are there things you didn't tell us before?
Well, I did once. Yes.
All right, that's the only reason I wanted to come on. Figure I'd just not let him lie about me anymore.
Have you moved?
Alex, I didn't lie about you at all. I didn't lie about you at all. I took all the blame for it, which I should have.
That's it.
He hung up.
Oh, come on.
I didn't lie.
I'm with Alex too on this one.
No,
you lied to us.
You did lie to us.
What? Oh, yeah.
What was that?
I did. Yes. Okay, I cheated once. Yes.
Even Jerry and Kirk looked uncomfortable. I mean, these guys they weren't rattled, but that you could tell the enormity of the tension of the studio was real.
I mean, how could you not? It was, it was real pain there, real anguish.
And Reimer heard his voice. The instant Alex number 2 started speaking, he jumped up in his chair, and I couldn't see his face, but according to Kirk and Jerry, he was rattled.
Well, that was today. Quite the sideshow. If you're going to advise people, a lot of people like to listen to this podcast first to get kind of a primer as to where to go. I think we posted all the Reimer stuff in one podcast, so if that interests you, that's all in one chunk.
Yeah, we tweeted out, and it'll be at WEEI.com, the announcement that Alex is single, followed up by the confrontation of Alex number 2 live on the air.
We also had got to rekindle Jerry's Manish Mehta drops. I guess that was a salvaged silver lining from the first hour.
Oh man, those were outstanding.
I just got done before you came on, Manish. Mehta to.
We had him on. He's I think Jerry described him as, which Jerry or Kirk this morning said he's the snarky New York columnist, what a New York tabloid football columnist should be. And we had him on a couple times in the past, and Jerry had a tough time with his first and last name. Speaking of Manish Mehta, too, we'll have his namesake, John Mehta Perel, in tomorrow.
Yes, we think, although Kirk seems skeptical. So does Jerry, quite frankly.
Yeah, who knows? All I know is I don't want to be getting a text at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
That'll be Jerry's Friday. He's headed off to the inauguration. Kirk is predicting that Jerry will get shot at the ceremony, so that's nice. It's a nice sentiment to be.
And the WEEI.com is not sending its newly hired famous gay columnist to Mike Pence's queer dance party, which I think is a missed opportunity at the highest level.
Tragedy. It's like Macbeth.
It's a free dance party with a bunch of gay guys. He's single. Why doesn't he pay for himself?
He can go down there and sleep on Jerry's couch in his apartment. Those guys have a great rapport.
The Callahans go to the inauguration, and there's Reimer in like a rainbow outfit.
Jerry's basically adopted him. He's a member of the family.
And Kirky was even looking in. A couple times today, Jerry was commenting on how if he were of the gay persuasion, that Reimer would do it for him.
There's no doubt. That's in his mind. Jerry's already gone there. Let's be honest. I mean, that already happened. Just like Tomasi and Kirk consummated their relationship last week in some weird form. Those sheets have already been soiled.
Quick question. Bruins take.
Ooh, we had some turmoil. But it seemed like we had something brewing yesterday.
We did. And so tonight, a loss in Detroit. Anything happen, or are we waiting till Friday?
I maintain it's the 3-game skid. It's the news dump weekend. You lose to Chicago Friday. Patriots are in the spotlight. Claude out silently, quietly.
You're fired.
Well, I got to say, I gave it some thought. It can't be a news dump weekend with the Bruins because Saturday night is a 90-minute Saturday skate.
Well, that's true.
So if they do it, it's going to be prime time on WEEI all across New England.
sometimes all across New England. We don't often get picked up by the affiliates, quite frankly.
Really? Just Boston?
Yes. Sunday morning, my man Pete Shepard was very upset. He came in and he said, "You're not out of Springfield. You're not out of Providence." Pete was more outraged than I am. So.
Pete gets outraged about the dumbest shit. He came in a couple weeks ago when I was in, and he said, "Oh, these snow reports and these idiots at the supermarket." And he's yelling at me for 10 minutes.
Anybody who puts up Christmas lights,
I'm like, Pete, all right.
It is humbling, though. They replay Rodney Harrison for a second straight day in Providence and Springfield
instead of
rather
the show?
than carrying Sunday Skate.
That god-awful Dan Schwartzman and Rodney Harrison
Dan Schwartzman and Rodney.
The safety blitz. It's got nothing on the morning roast, though. I'll tell you that.
No. Morning roast is top quality Java.
We call it Java.
Okay, you are, I understand, traveling the state tonight, so no cooking at home for Curtis tonight.
No cooking at home. I'm traveling to the lovely town of Hadley, Mass., right next to the University of Massachusetts. I'm intrigued about what we get from Meter tomorrow, because
yeah, they're going to give Meter the business.
They're going to give him a hard time, rightfully so. Meter's calling a BC game tonight.
Uh-oh.
Dark days indeed.
So he won't be getting much sleep. And I think it's a big morning for Meter because Arcan's done a good job. The Candyman's been in.
Candyman?
Capably. And we'll see what we get out of Meter tomorrow.
Did you talk to the Candyman about not appearing?
Yeah, the Candyman understands. The Candyman's got a good job going.
He had Rear on last night for 2 hours.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did.
How was it?
It was excellent. I could play a drop here if you'd like.
I'd love it.
Bust out the feathered hair and the blow. The 80s are back. Pal, ain't nobody humping around.
That's some of what you got on the night show last night with Rear and Candy.
I wonder if they're going to be a package deal. Like if we get Candyman in down the line, he's going to have to bring in Rear.
That would be great. I'm not sure Rear wakes up that early.
Rear's tweeting at Kirk these days.
Mm-hmm. Trying to curry favor with the Crown Prince.
Very interesting. Those two have to, meet at some point.
At some point, it will happen.
It's sort of, I don't know, I'm going to call it sexual tension, but there is some tension brewing.
Yes. And by the way, you and I were called the second best show in the WEEI family today, right before I fucked up the cat sounds drop.
You know we should do shows when we're gone. I'm serious. It's the second best show at the station is Curtis and Ken, the podcast.
I agree. The podcast is good.
So when we're away on vacation in the summer, you guys should do some shows together.
But it's all, I think.
I'd love it, but
you have to do all that sound during
Ken
the show.
Yeah, I know how we do that.
Ken does all the production, all the drops. I mean, he puts a lot of effort in this podcast.
They have good chemistry, though.
They do.
They do a good job. Think of what Ken's working with.
Right.
Sure what that's
That was
for.
supposed to be when Alex and Alex were fighting. Stupid.
A little late, dummy.
Right after they said that you have a tough thing to work with in me, which is a fair point.
No, you're a star of this podcast. We appreciate your patronage and dedication. See you tomorrow, hopefully with Meter in tow.
Sounds great.